I, 32M, think I need to break up with my girlfriend, 43F, due to problems with our age difference.
My girlfriend and I have been together for just over a year, and overall our relationship has been good. Our 11-year age difference did concern me at first because I thought we would have different expectations of our relationship, so I was very clear with my girlfriend about what I want in our relationship before getting too serious. Before we officially started dating, I straight up told her that I want to take my time with everything and don't want to rush anything. I told her that marriage was something I wanted, but definitely not in the near future, at least 3 years of dating. I also told her that I didn't want kids until I was at least married for 1 year. I was honest and direct with how I viewed the relationship at the start so that there were no surprises. She completely agreed with me on everything and told me that she has no rush. So nothing was holding us back.
The first big problem in our relationship occurred at right about 6 months. My GF all of a sudden told me that she wanted to move in together despite only being together for half a year. I definitely didn't feel comfortable with this early into our relationship, so I told her that. I reiterated that I didn't want to rush anything and that I would feel comfortable moving in if we were together for a year. This caused a few serious arguments between us. We have now been together for about a year, and recently some other concerns have been brought to my attention. Recently, while discussing moving in together since we both feel ready for it, she told me that she wants to be married by the time our 2nd-year anniversary comes around, and that she even wants to be pregnant. So she basically expects a proposal from me in the next few months. I straight up told her that I'm not ready to propose yet anytime soon, and reiterated again that I don't want to rush anything I'm not comfortable with.
This led to another big argument about our expectations of our relationship. Now I'm really doubting if this relationship is good for the both of us, since we both have very different timelines about what we desire in our relationship, despite me being very clear about my expectations from the start. I don't want to feel pressured by my partner into anything, but that's how I exactly feel right now. I don't see a solution where the both of us are happy and fulfilled in our relationship. I think that I definitely need to narrow my future dating to only women that are younger than me, so situations like these don't occur again. Do you guys think there is any way to resolve this matter without anyone resenting each other? Or do I have to accept that it is over and search for a younger partner who also isn't in a rush about the future?
For this particular relationship, it seems like breaking up is inevitable. For future relationships, you don't have to date someone younger, but you should continue being upfront with any future partner. You can even use this relationship as an example of you not wanting to be pressured into something before you are ready, and explain what your rough timeline is again. You want to wait approximately 4 years to have kids. She's 43 and would already be considered high risk. At 47 she could be menopausal. So unless you're both willing to have kids right now or want to be child-free, then this relationship isn't going to work. So my husband was with a woman before me who was older than him. And this was a recurring issue. They ignored it for 7 years. Then broke up bitterly. I'm younger than my husband. I met him a few months after their breakup. We took it slow. Discussed marriage around a year in. I set an expectation similar to yours. Engaged by 3. He agreed it was totally reasonable. And eventually proposed around 2.5 years. It's now been nearly 10 years since then. And we've been married for about 5. With 2 kids under 3. We're both incredibly happy, because we set a timeline that worked for both of us. Then adhered to it. And, for what it's worth, his ex almost immediately met someone who felt the same way she did. And they quickly married and had a baby when she was 42. Literally everyone ended up happy. And it never would have happened if they hadn't been honest with themselves and each other. If only eventually. I'd save yourself the heartache and break up. Best of luck finding what you're looking for. Perhaps she was on board with all the expectations at the beginning of the relationship, but as Reality started kicking in. She realized there was a certain timeline. Pregnancy. That she, unfortunately, had to adhere to. Since you already brought up that any pregnancy basically involved you two being married and living together, she might have decided that she needed to speed up this process in order to achieve the pregnancy goal. I'm not faulting her for wanting it, but perhaps she should have been more honest with herself, and you too, about what she really desired.
No offense, but you're both dumb for thinking you all could have a kid when she's almost 50. How could you not have thought of this before?
You told a woman you wouldn't be willing to try for children until she was 46. Most women have started menopause by 46. She was wrong to accept your terms and conditions. And doubly wrong because she probably expected you to change your mind along the way. But there is no way you can expect her to be ready to start trying for a baby at age 46. Let her go so she can find someone who'll give her what she wants before it's too late. Find someone who is more capable of running on the same timeline you want. I'm 39F, and if someone planned to eventually have kids with me at a later date, I would laugh. Right now I'm with a guy who's 33 and we both have agreed if it happens, it happens. But we both know the likelihood of me getting pregnant is super low. This lady you're with is delusional to think about kids at her age. It could happen, but it shouldn't be high on the want list like at all. Younger doesn't mean she won't have the same expectations though. Lol. Age is kind of a red herring here. On your end, you could be 45 or 25, and she may be making the same demands. She could be 35 and doing the same thing. Especially so. So I'd suggest throwing out the idea that women in their 40s are crazy for getting the marriage and baby sorted as soon as possible. Plenty of women in their 40s absolutely do not want that. But there's also the reality that it is harder to conceive in your 40s. And every year creates greater risks. 42 isn't 44 isn't 46 here. So it is a factor. She's being very clear with it, and she is confused why you wouldn't speed things up if you're into her the way she sees you're into her. She wants something very specific that you don't. And these are not negotiable to her, even if you share the same overall goals. She's moved up the timeline maybe because she wants to ensure certain things can happen before they're not viable options. In either case, this isn't because you're in your 30s, and it isn't an indictment of all women in their 40s. The toughest partnership arguments aren't about incompatible goals but incompatible timelines. Which is what we have here. If you do part ways, don't let give you an unfair impression of all women who are a few years older. Because you're really stepping in some logical nonsense then. Although I agree with most here, and with you that you have your timeline and you're entitled to it, don't make it time-based. Make it how you're feeling and how your relationship is based. My partner had to move in with me during COVID, and we were only together for 3 months prior. And 3 years later we are getting married, and I love her with all my heart. Reading your post, it sounds like you are way too focused on time periods. 1 year for this. 2 years before that. You need to stop defining the steps by time and just get to know each other. Work together and get into the relationship. Things will happen as both of you feel comfortable. I was like you. I want to wait this long for this and that long for that. But then I met someone and we just clicked. She moved in with me after 3 months. I proposed to her after 9 months. And 2 years after we met we got married. I stopped focusing on time and just went with what felt right. Bro, she is 43. If you wait much longer she may not be able to have kids. If she is hooked on having kids, then stop being selfish. Either commit or break up. If you're not ready to commit, then you already know your answer. Mismatched with what you want out of life. You were clear with her about what you wanted out of a relationship timeline. She has pretty much ignored it. Honestly, you both were being willfully ignorant about the reality of your situation. She cannot and should not wait to have children. You are not ready. I'm not sure how you thought waiting to get started on children in your situation was going to work. Also, she was entering into a situation where she was either ignoring that she probably needed to start on kids, or she was going to change your mind. If you are going to break up, you should not drag it out. Stealing any time from her is not a fair thing to do. I will also point out that her ignoring your boundaries around what you are comfortable with is not fair either. She's older. It'd be a miracle if she got pregnant at all at 43. She's in a hurry because her biological clock is damn near expired. I think you need to end it. You're young and have plenty of time to settle down with someone. Don't let her rush you along because she has to. It's not fair to keep her hanging on if you're not ready. She has a hell of a lot to lose. If you're not prepared to compromise on your timeline, the kind thing to do is break up so that she can find someone else. And soon, not taking months to think about it and then breaking up. Nobody's getting any younger. If you don't want to marry her now, then you simply don't want to marry her. Emo. You seem detached to your girlfriend by speaking with no affection or emotion and more analytical. So just tell her what you are expressing here, that you are breaking up because she's aged out and you prefer younger women for your required structured family planning schedule. If she wants kids, she needs to start now. If you're not ready, stop wasting her time. First, you are already thinking of leaving her and you were really clear. So if she doesn't want to wait for you. Second, if the problem is in the age gap, 11 years, reduce it both up and down. Think that if you date a girl really younger than you, she would have the same problem. At 43, the chances of her becoming pregnant are slim to none.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. ThrowRAagediffs is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.